Okay, so welcome everybody, and welcome to our monthly Reflect and Connect session. I'm Alison Bell, and I'm a Heal Your Life trained and certified coach and workshop leader in the philosophy and teachings of Louise Hay. And Louise Hay was the pioneer in the self-help movement way back in the 70s, decades ago. And she created a global certification program with Patricia Crane, who was Louise Hay's assistant in the workshops they used to lead together. And so we could certify, people like me could certify to share Louise Hay's philosophy and teachings with others. So I came up with this idea of the 12 ways to love yourself. I've done this program where we did it over 12 weeks, but I thought doing it over 12 months, really focusing on one of the ways to love yourself each month, have a session where we come together like this, really look at what that way to love yourself looks like and means. And then I wanted to take you through like a guided visualization on that way. We'll do some reflection questions and some journaling, and then we'll create or adopt some of the affirmations that I've come up with for our session today. And they're really an opportunity. So weekly was good. There was momentum and consistency that built in that program. But this really gives you an opportunity to implement some of the things like the affirmations and the awareness that you get in these sessions into your daily life between sessions. These monthly sessions come around really quick for me. So being able to implement some of the things, some of the takeaways that you get and the light bulb moments you get in these sessions is more realistic. You've got a month to do that. And they're really designed to help us connect to our inner wisdom and our inner truth before we took on limiting beliefs and programs that aren't really ours or they don't serve us anymore. To remember the truth of who we are, the wisdom within us, and that creativity within us. So and these monthly sessions then help build that momentum and consistency. So there's a little bit of growth work for you to do in between. Saying your affirmations, writing your affirmations, maybe using those journaling prompts again and journaling. But once you've done that, then we're then looking at the next way to love yourself, which is really good. So this month, we're looking at support yourself. And we can often look to others for support, and that's good, and it's good to do that. But also, one of the most powerful sources of support is the way we can support ourselves. And when we take a moment, and the secret in this is to really pause when we're in that moment of overwhelm, or we're in our mind, we're in our head, and we are creating stories sometimes faster than we can realize that we're just creating a story. So if we can take this moment to pause when we're in that moment, we're in that spin, and just ask ourselves what we need right now and really listen, that's really powerful. And sometimes we may need to just really realize that that we're in our head and we need to pause. Sometimes we may just need to take a few deep breaths. Sometimes we may need to just have a bit of a release and cry, or do some exercise, or jump up and down, or something. But today we're focusing on learning to be our own biggest supporter. And when we trust ourselves to show up for ourselves and be there for ourselves, we create a solid foundation. And that then builds trust within us. And this doesn't mean that we don't ask for support outside of ourselves, because absolutely that is a sign of strength as well. We don't just sit and wallow in our own negativity as such, but asking for others for support is also supporting ourselves. And it means that we're there for ourselves when we need it the most, and that is really empowering. So sometimes I even had a moment the other day where I was really overwhelmed with lots of things I needed to do before coming on holiday. And you really want to get on holiday and relax and take everything in your stride and do wonderful things, but there was so much other stuff, life admin that I had to do before I felt like I could really switch off. And it was really overwhelming. It was really frustrating. But I recognized that I was in my head, I was creating this story, and I did an energy release, which was really powerful. And then I sat for a moment and just paused. And what do I need right now? And that was really powerful. It stopped the head spin, and I was then able to take that first step. And it was literally just to sit there a little bit longer. I actually got some essential oils out, inhaled some essential oils that I work with, and that really supported me in that moment. So Louise Hay says, support yourself, find ways to support yourself, reach out to friends and allow them to help you. And it is, as I've said, it is being strong to ask for help when you need it. So I'm going to, this is like I said to you before we started recording this session. This next session is going to be, sorry, a guided visualization. It shouldn't say reflection exercise. So it's going to be a guided visualization. So just take this moment to really get comfortable. If you can, place your feet on the floor. And if possible, just make sure you're not going to be distracted for the next 10 minutes. And just feel your feet on the floor, your bottom on the seat, and just really relax your belly, relax your shoulders, and just be here now in this moment. And just take a deep breath in, maybe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And allow your feet just to feel grounded beneath you. If it feels comfortable, you can gently close your eyes or just soften your gaze if you're in the office or somewhere where you don't need to look asleep. And take another slow breath in. Breathe in relaxation and breathe out calmness and peace and groundedness. And just allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. There's nothing to achieve, nothing to solve. There's nowhere else you need to be right now, and nothing else you need to do. Just a few precious moments to be with yourself. And now imagine yourself standing at the beginning of a beautiful path. This path represents your journey through life. You can see that the path continues ahead of you. There may be gentle stretches of path, there may be hills, and there may be twists and turns. And perhaps you can't see exactly where the path will lead, but you don't need to know everything. You only need to take the next step. As you stand here, bring your attention gently back to yourself and just ask, what do I need right now? Not what does everyone else need from me, and not what should I be doing, and not what can wait, but what do I need right now to support myself? Perhaps it's a little rest. Perhaps it's a little quietness. Maybe some movement. Maybe you need some nourishment. Maybe a conversation with somebody. Maybe a boundary needs to be put in place. Maybe some reassurance for yourself. And it could be time in nature. And sometimes we might just need a little bit of fun, or simply permission just to stop for a while. Whatever comes to you, don't judge it, just listen. Your needs matter. You matter. Now imagine that you place your hand gently over your heart. and say to yourself, I hear you. I am listening. Your needs are important to me. And take a breath here. And allow yourself to feel what it is like to truly have your own back. Now look ahead along your path and imagine that you are joined by some of the people who love and support you. Perhaps it's a friend or a family member. Perhaps it's a trusted colleague or a coach or a therapist or other professional. Or someone else you know you can turn to. Notice that you don't have to walk this path alone and that support is available. And asking for help is supporting yourself. It's an act of self-love. Imagine yourself reaching out your hand and allowing yourself to receive. Perhaps there is someone you need to contact. Someone you need to say, I could really use some support right now. Allow yourself to imagine making that connection and feel the relief of not having to carry everything alone. And now imagine that the people supporting you gently step aside because they're not here to walk your journey for you. They are here to remind you that you can walk it. You have your own strength, your own inner wisdom, and your own inner knowing. And now imagine turning towards yourself, becoming your biggest supporter. Hearing yourself saying, I believe in me. I've got my own back. I can do this. I don't have to do it perfectly, and I don't have to do it alone. One step at a time is enough. Allow those words to sink in. Perhaps place both hands over your heart. Take a deep breath and feel yourself becoming more grounded, more supported, and more connected to yourself. Now look once again at the path ahead. You don't need to know every step you're going to take. Instead, ask yourself, what is one loving thing I can do to support myself next? And just allow the answer to come. Perhaps it is something very simple. A phone call, a rest, a boundary, a nourishing meal, a walk, or asking for help, saying no or saying yes, booking an appointment, or taking some time for yourself. Whatever comes, trust it. You don't need to do everything today. Just take the next loving step. And now repeat gently to yourself, I am here for myself. I listen to what I need. I'm worthy of support. I allow myself to ask for help when I need it. I receive support with an open heart. I am my own biggest cheerleader, and I trust myself to take the next step. I support myself with love, kindness, and compassion. And take one final deep breath in and breathe out slowly. Feel your feet beneath you. Feel your connection with the earth. Feel your own strength within you. And as you gently return your awareness to the room, carry this knowing with you. You are not required to have everything figured out. You're not required to do everything alone. And you are allowed to need support. And you are capable of supporting yourself, one loving choice at a time. When you're ready, just gently wiggle your fingers and toes and bring a little movement back into your body. And slowly open your eyes. And just take a moment before you move on, and remember the answer that came to you. What is the next loving step I can take to support myself? What is the next loving step I can take to support myself? And that can be enough for today. And so it is. Okay. And if you gently opened your eyes, we're just going to go on to the reflection questions and journaling. So take your notepad and pen and just take a few moments to make a note of what came up, any new awareness in that guided visualization, and any affirmations that really resonated that you know you want to implement into your day, or anything that came up during that meditation that you can use going forward. And here are some reflection questions. What does supporting myself look like in my daily life? That could be anything like going to bed at a good time. It could be pausing for a warm drink around 11 o'clock and having a Levensies and just pausing for that moment. It could be pausing after lunchtime or going for a walk in nature. And then the next question, what beliefs stop me from fully supporting myself? Sometimes we think we haven't got the time or we don't deserve it. So just think inside, what beliefs are stopping you from fully supporting yourself? And if you treated yourself with the same care as you give to others, what would change? Would you give yourself more moments to pause? Would you be kinder with yourself and your internal self-dialogue? Would you feel happier and lighter if you treated yourself with the same care that you give to others? Will you feel valued, acknowledged, and heard? And then what is the next loving step I can take to support myself? And that one way that Louise Hay used to say it was, what is the most self-loving thing I can do right now? What is the thing we need most right now? Feel free to pop anything in the chat if you would like to share with everyone else on the call. If you're watching this on replay and you have a realization or a light bulb moment, I'd love to hear it. So please feel free to share it with me. And then we have the power of affirmations. So if you haven't written anything down yet, don't worry, we'll go through some that I've already created. If they feel good and they feel like they give you room for possibility, that's what we need. They don't need to necessarily feel really true right now, but give you room for possibility, give you room for hope. That's a really good sign because you're planting seeds in your in the garden of your mind. So I'll read these out so you can I'll keep them up for a little while anyway, but I'll read them out. And if there's one that really, or several that really resonate, you can write them down. I lovingly support and care for myself. I honour my needs and give myself what I require to thrive, not just survive, but to thrive. I'm worthy of rest, nourishment, and support. We don't need to earn it. I give myself permission to ask for help when I need it. I set healthy boundaries that protect my energy and well-being. I listen to my body and respond with compassion. I am my own best advocate and loving supporter. I create the conditions that allow me to flourish. And I trust myself to make choices that serve my highest good. Every day I become more skilled at supporting myself. I'm here for myself. I am my own best friend. I support myself with love and care. I give myself what I need on every level. And I trust myself to meet my needs. I am supplied and supported. I've got some more as well. I am loved and safe wherever I go. I am at home in the universe. Life is happening for me. I express love and I will always attract love wherever I go. My life is a success. I now go beyond my old fears and limitations. I am at peace with myself and life. My mind is at peace and all is well. I am willing to move forward with ease. The world is safe. I am safe. I am at peace with life. Okay, so hopefully you found several on there. I'll just share those slides again in case you wanted to write anything down. And please feel free to write just one of them in the chat. I'd love to hear which affirmations really resonated with you in that guided visualization, or even reading those affirmations out. And sometimes I just read affirmations and you can't help but feel uplifted after you've read the affirmations. So even if you watch the replay and just read the affirmations to yourself, or even listen to me reading them, hopefully you'll feel that energy shift within yourself. So yeah, pop an affirmation in the chat. I'd love to hear which one really resonated with you today. And just whilst you're doing that, today we explored different ways to support ourselves, and just bringing awareness to what has come up is another treasure. So with this work, always it's about pausing, bringing awareness to the underlying dialogue and narrative that is going on within us. And even if we notice it's negative or it's limiting in some way, it's still a treasure, because if we don't know it's there, we can't do anything about it. So even if we're saying, oh, here we go again, we can even just say, now that's interesting. I'm thinking that, and look into that, rather than beating ourselves up from becoming aware of a negative thought or limiting belief. And we don't have to change overnight. This work works when there's consistency and momentum in our daily practice. And it doesn't need to change. Things don't need to change overnight, but awareness is our first step. So once we've got the awareness and we can do something about it, then we can create affirmations to neutralize that limiting belief or negative thought pattern. You may notice other opportunities as well that you become aware of during the following days and weeks where you can support yourself a little bit more, and you can say to yourself, what is the most self-loving thing I can do right now, or what is it I need right now? But thank you for showing up for yourselves today and exploring where we can support ourselves a little bit more. Again, we don't need to remember everything from this session. Trust that whatever landed with you today is what you needed to hear today. And there's always the recording that you can play back and spend some more time with. So our next Reflect and Connect session is going to be on the 14th of September. So again, on a Monday at 12:30, we join on Zoom. We have a chance to have a little chat, ask any questions before we go into me recording these sessions. So I'd love to see you again if you can make Monday the 14th of September. And then I've got a 6-week program coming up on the 16th of September. So this is a great hybrid program. So we'll come together on Zoom once a week on a Wednesday evening, 6:30 till 8. And then in the week between our sessions, you'll have access to an online portal where there are exercises, visualizations, affirmations, meditations, videos, all of this content that you can spend 15-20 minutes a day on yourself, and then we come together for a group coaching session on a Wednesday evening. So it's 5 different modules, but we come together for 6 weeks. So we always come together on the Wednesday night to reflect on what we've discovered the week before and then set ourselves up for the following week. So that's a really lovely program. It's great. You have access to the online portal for 6 months. We come together once a week, which is fab. And there's also that independent work that you can do in between sessions as many times as you like as well. So that is the Heal Your Life journey. And then I held the 2-day signature You Can Heal Your Life workshop back in June, which was amazing. We had a beautiful group, a small intimate group of 8 women plus myself and Cavill, who held the space for everybody. This is the workshop that Louise Hay and Patricia Crane put together, the workshop that we're all trained to share with others. It's been approved by Hay House and obviously Louise herself. Some of the exercises in this 2-day workshop are in the book You Can Heal Your Life, and some of them aren't. But it's really powerful. When they're in a book, sometimes you can skip through them. You can say, I'll come back to that later. But in the 2-day workshop, we actually do them. And that's really powerful. So that's the 2-day workshop. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for taking the time for you. It's really important, I think, to take this time for ourselves. It's not long. It's like probably 45 minutes start to finish for yourselves. But we've looked at one of the ways to love ourselves, which is supporting ourselves and noticing where there's an opportunity to support ourselves. This awareness is the big key. So take your affirmations and apply them into your daily life. And thank you again for showing up for yourself. And it's been lovely to share this space with you. So I shall now stop the recording and come back into the Zoom room. So we